We started Puntos Press in 1985, and we started it out of our house. And we didn't know Joe Hayes yet, but Bobby, my husband, was doing a program called Poetry in the Schools, where you go, teach kids how to, you're a poet, and you go and show them what poetry is like, and you encourage them to write poetry, and you do all this stuff with them. So Bobby was in Santa Fe, and he met Joe Hayes, and Joe Hayes at that time, I think, was telling stories in schools for like $50 a day, and going around, and because he couldn't, going around in his car, staying in his car, so he didn't have to put up in a hotel. I mean, he was really trying to earn his living as a storyteller. And Bobby heard him tell stories, and he saw the whole entire schoolroom full of kids just mesmerized, and he said, "This guy's great." And then he went to Joe and he said, "Why don't you become part of the poetry in the schools? At least you could make better than that." And so that friendship formed, and Joe at that time was publishing little books of his own. These are our offices here on Texas Avenue, and our desks where we work, where we do make the decisions about the books that we're going to acquire, who's going to design them. We make the decisions about where we're going to send them to print, whether it's going to be in Wisconsin or in Hong Kong. We do all the intellectual work here, all the decision making. We have a national distributor who sells our books out of their warehouse all over the United States, and that's an important thing to know about this press. It's local. We live here and we work here, but we're a national press. These are our world headquarters. This is our headquarters. And so we said to Joe, "Well, why don't you let us publish one of your books?" And he said, "Well, the first one that you have to do is La Llorona. You have to do La Llorona, because that's the one no matter where I go, the kids want to hear." And he says, "And you have to do it in a bilingual format, because that's the way I tell stories. I just go back and forth, and he's always teaching the kids both languages." And so we did, and that was the first time. When we first started Cinco Puntos, we thought to ourselves, well, because I'm a fiction writer, we'll sell fiction, and because Bobby's a poet, we'll sell poetry. And there was no money in that. And when we published this, we realized, oh, kids' books. Now these kids' books have real steady legs. For the first 10 years, we worked out of our house on Louisville Street in El Paso. We can put our books out, and somebody can come in and they can see our books, and they can look at the work that we've done, and they can buy them. So we have a lot of books by Joe Hayes. He's one of our main authors. There's another tall tale, The Lovesick Skunk, and two of his most important books, Coyote Under the Table. These are like signature books of Joe's, especially this day it's No Tortillas. The Ghost Fever is the one that won the Texas Bluebonnet Award. And Joe also was going back and forth to Cuba all the time, and he collected folk tales from Cuban storytellers. So he had this really wonderful exchange with storytellers in Cuba. And he actually, I think, brought some of them up here. So he's done very important work. Joe has. We are a for-profit press, which means we make decisions about the books that we acquire to publish, and we have a real eclectic sense of what we want to do. So over the years, we've done a lot of books for adults, and many of our books have to do with issues that are here on the border, the drug trade, a call to the end of the prohibition on marijuana, stories about people here in El Paso, different things, poetry that comes from this part of the world, a history, Ringside Seat to the Revolution, a history of the Mexican Revolution from a Mexican perspective. And Joe said, no, we can't publish Pájaro Verde, we have to publish El Cucuy first. And he was absolutely right. And he's right because he spends 6 or 7 months out of the year telling stories to kids every day. And he knows what they love. These are the stories they love. So El Cucuy came next. Spoon for Every Bite he did, I think, originally with another press, Orchard Books, in an English-only edition. And when the rights rescinded back to him, we took it from him and we did it in a bilingual edition. So this was not our original book, is not our original illustrator. So these are our books that are for real early concept books. ABCs, opposites, colors, numbers, just early readers that are bilingual for kids just starting out. They both won national awards, top 10 young adult books of the year they were published in the United States. And we've done other books that would appeal to teenagers. This is a great one, The Smell of Old Lady Perfume. This is by a girl who went to Jeff. She grew up in the Segundo Barrio, and then she went to California to college, and now she lives in Chicago. But she's a wonderful writer. That's for 6th graders, so that's a real book for boys, and it's done very well for us. It won a national award. It's a cautionary tale to prevent you from
drowning your children in the river.
Oh, well, no, well, that too, but to prevent the kids from going out late at night in case He was telling us that kids really like these tall tales, but they don't really lend themselves to Spanish and English. They're more of an English only. So we've done 2 tall tales, The Gum Chewer and The Lovesick Skunk, in English only, and they've both been really popular. The Gum Chewer is the most popular. And I'm surprised it's not on the Bluebonnet list, the Texas Bluebonnet list. Joe just keeps chugging along. He's just a great storyteller. He still has kids mesmerized. When Joe starts a story, the kids are all like restless and rumbling around, and he doesn't pay any attention to it. He just starts the story and he keeps telling the story, and suddenly you can watch the kids just get mesmerized, and they all quiet down and they just watch the story. He just lets the story take care of the kids. He's just a great storyteller, wonderful to watch. So that's what I have to say about Joe Hayes. I hope that you come back. You can see that we're here at 701 Texas Avenue. Maybe you'll encourage other people to come visit us and to look at the books by Joe Hayes, because they're so wonderful. And look at all our other books. We've just got wonderful books. So, thanks for coming, Louise.